I am diving into Slappie Run today, a game that sits inside a much larger world created by Slap Ventures. From the moment I load into it, the first thing that stands out is how simple everything is to understand. But behind that simplicity, there is a game that refuses to let you relax. Slappy the Frog at the heart of this experience launches forward on a non-stop sprint, and my only goal is to keep him alive for as long as possible. What I enjoy about this is that this game is not trying to overwhelm me with complicated systems or a massive learning curve. It reminds me that games do not need 100 mechanics to feel exciting. As soon as I hit start, I immediately feel that tension waiting for the moment a dinosaur pops up in front of me without warning, waiting to see how far I can push myself before everything collapses. Every second I stay alive becomes my personal challenge. Slappie Run is part of something larger. It exists inside a gaming and NFT ecosystem that aims to bring entertainment to people of every age. I find something interesting in that. The intention behind Slap Ventures is not just to build a platform filled with games. It is about creating memories. It is designed to be a place where parents and kids, families and friends, and even casual gamers can share the same moments, laugh at the same failures, and root for each other. As I play, I understand that this game carries more meaning than just a score. It is part of a mission that believes that fun can be a bridge, that entertainment can strengthen connection, and that joy has just as much value as education. Sometimes it is easy to forget that digital spaces can actually bring people closer. Slappie Run quietly works to prove that. When I hit the first jump, my spacebar sends me flying over danger, and for a brief second, I feel fully present. That is what good games do. They pull you out of everything and bring you into one pure moment where the only thing that matters is surviving one more obstacle. So before we begin running, let me set the stage. Slappie Run is fast, unpredictable, endlessly repeatable, and built to test your reflexes again and again. Whether you are a beginner or someone who seeks high-level mastery, the feeling is the same. You survive, you fail, and you immediately say, I can go further. One more try. When I step back from the gameplay, I start to see the bigger intention behind what Slappie Run represents. Slap Ventures is not just releasing games for the sake of entertainment, it is building a digital world that is designed to create unforgettable experiences. As I talk through this, I want you to imagine everything around this gameplay, the people who might be sitting together watching it, and the idea that entertainment can actually play a role in shaping stronger relationships. Their mission feels surprisingly human. At the core, they believe entertainment has the power to bring people together. They believe joy can be a foundation for healthy family units, and that a shared experience, even something as simple as trying to survive one more second in Slappie Run, can have value. What I find interesting is that this world is not built only for hardcore gamers, it is for everyone. Whether you are young and learning basic reflexes through a quick game, or older, simply looking for a few minutes of lighthearted challenge, that accessibility makes the platform feel welcoming. It invites people in instead of pushing them away. Over time, the vision reaches beyond just single games. Slap Ventures is working toward a unified ecosystem. Games, collectibles, NFTs, and community-driven features all blending into one place. They imagine a space where education, technology, and entertainment coexist. I can picture families discovering games, kids laughing as their character crashes into a dinosaur, and parents joining in because the barrier to try is incredibly low. There is something simple yet powerful about that. A lot of digital platforms today focus on competition, monetization, and endless grinding. Here the focus feels different. It is about shared time, about returning to the feeling games used to give us when they lived in living rooms, not just on private screens. This long-term objective also includes creating a place where multiple products and services connect not only games, but also utilities and collectibles that play a role across the entire ecosystem. That means Slappie Run, as small and simple as it looks, is a doorway. It is a starting point, an invitation and a foundation for something expanding. When I explain this, I realize I am not only presenting a game, I am presenting a philosophy. Entertainment, when combined with intention, can improve the way people relate, and I think that is what makes the vision of Slap Ventures worth paying attention to. This is not about chasing the largest audience, it is about creating meaningful digital moments, and Slappie Run, with its fast pace and quick restarts, is one piece of that much larger mission. As I begin playing Slappie Run, the first thing I notice is how immediately I am thrown into motion. There is no menu full of instructions, no complex onboarding. Slappie just starts running, and in that moment I understand exactly what the game expects from me. Stay alive, survive longer than I did before, and feel that rush every time my reflexes save me at the last possible second. The standout feature here is simplicity that refuses to be boring. Every mechanic is designed around fast decision making. When I press the spacebar, I launch into a jump that clears dinosaurs, rocks, and high barriers that appear without warning. When I hit the down arrow, I slide and suddenly I feel like a professional narrowly avoiding low obstacles that would have ended my run. That tight minimal skill set is exactly what turns this from casual fun into an addictive loop. The speed rising over time forces me to react faster. At first I think I have it under control. Then slowly the environment accelerates, my timing gets tested, and I start to feel those tiny bursts of adrenaline. Slappie Run transforms from a warm-up to a reflex exam to a battle between my brain and the track. I know that each second I stay alive, I am building a high score, and that score, simple as it sounds, becomes my personal goal. There's no complex storyline pulling me forward. Instead, the motivation comes from inside. I finish a run, I watch my character fall, and instantly, without even thinking, the words leave my mouth. One more try. I know I can do better. Another standout feature is how this gameplay lends itself to short, repeatable sessions. I do not need an hour. I do not need to commit for a long time. Slappie Run respects the reality of modern life, where sometimes all we have is a couple of minutes, and yet we still want that feeling of play, challenge, and satisfaction. Whether someone is brand new to games or someone comfortable with high performance play, this experience adapts. The mechanics do not change, but my mastery does, and that is what keeps bringing me back. I can feel improvement, I can sense when my reactions sharpen, and every failure is simply fuel for the next attempt. For anyone curious about what makes Slappie Run special, it is this exact combination: fast starting, easy to understand, impossible to fully conquer. It is gaming boiled down to its purest elements, timing, instinct, and the relentless desire to go further. As I continue to explore the world around Slappie Run, I start to look beyond the gameplay itself and into the digital ecosystem that supports it. At the center of everything is a token called Slap, and it is what connects the gaming platform to blockchain technology. When I hold Slap, I unlock full access to the platform, which means the more I participate, the deeper I can go into the experiences that Slap Ventures is building. Slap is the core digital asset. It is used for in-game transactions, it is tied to rewards, and it even plays a role in platform governance, which means users who hold it have a voice in how things evolve. That single mechanic shifts the experience from being just a player to being part of the ecosystem. Now, what is important for me to state clearly is that the information available does not give specific details on whether Slap is implemented as a native Cardano token. It also does not specify what Cardano metadata standards or smart contracts are involved, nor does it outline how NFTs are minted, stored, or exchanged inside the platform. What I do know, and what I can say with certainty, is that the gaming and NFT platform is built around modern technology, and blockchain is part of that structure. The token does exist to power the economy inside this world. It gives utility, unlocks benefits, and becomes a passport that carries me from one experience to the next. When I think about why a project like this would choose Cardano, it makes sense from a strategic perspective. Even if the technical specifics are not listed, Cardano enables tokens to exist natively without smart contracts. It allows transparent governance, and it supports on-chain ownership that players can actually control. Even though I cannot confirm the exact implementation, I can understand the intention to make use as owners rather than just participants. So as I run through Slappie Run, dodging dinosaurs and watching my score climb, the technology behind it serves as the invisible foundation. I am not required to think about it, but it is there, shaping how access, ownership, and participation function across the entire platform. If I choose to hold Slap, I am not just earning another item, I am gaining a key, a form of identity, one that determines what doors inside this digital world open for me. And as someone who loves games, there is something exciting about an ecosystem that acknowledges player presence, giving them a stake in the world they spend time in. When I take a closer look at where Slappie Run stands today, I see a game that already functions, already challenges, and already delivers that addictive, repeatable loop. Right now, I can load it up, start running, and immediately compete with myself, pushing to survive longer than the last attempt. That alone tells me this is not just a concept, it is a real playable experience. However, when it comes to deeper details about future plans, the available information does have limits. I do not have specifics about upcoming gameplay updates. There are no confirmed details about tournaments, multiplayer features, or new mechanics. There is no clear timeline that explains what Slappie Run will look like in 3 months, in 1 year, or beyond. What is clear is that it sits inside a much bigger mission. Slap Ventures itself plans to expand through a diverse range of services, collectibles, products, and community-driven digital spaces. Slappie Run seems to serve as one of the first doors players walk through as they enter that world, and that gives me a sense of where it belongs within the larger plan, even without knowing exact milestones. When I think about the roadmap, I go back to the heart of the project, creating unforgettable experiences, building a foundation for family engagement, offering easy access to gaming for all ages. That tells me what direction future development will likely follow, even if the steps to get there are not publicly defined. The current state can be summarized very simply. I can play, I can fail, and I can try again immediately. There is already enough here to deliver a full experience. What remains to be seen is how this game will evolve and how it will integrate more deeply with the ecosystem around it, whether that means more game modes, community competition, or additional NFT elements tied to performance or progression. Right now, Slappie Run is a functioning self-contained challenge. Its roadmap is not publicly defined, but its purpose, its place, and its anchor within Slap Ventures are already visible. I know why it exists, I know what it aims to do, and I know that the world around it, although still taking shape, is steadily expanding. As I keep playing Slappie Run, something becomes very clear to me. This game delivers value in a way that is subtle, almost quiet, but absolutely intentional. It is entertainment without complication, and for many people, especially families, that is exactly what makes it impactful. Imagine a parent and a child sitting together, one watching, one playing, cheering, laughing, when Slappy crashes right into a dinosaur. That moment right there is part of the purpose this platform is aiming for. The idea that something digital, something simple can create shared joy. It feels meaningful. Every time I start another run, I feel how accessible this experience is. I do not need previous gaming knowledge. I do not need strategy guides or tutorials. I just need a couple of seconds and the instinct to react. This kind of design invites everyone in, and that inclusivity is powerful. On a community level, the broader Slap Ventures ecosystem gives players a chance not only to play but to remain connected. The Slap token adds weight to that because it turns participation into something that continues. It gives me ownership that extends beyond a single session. It creates a system where my presence matters, and that sense of belonging is rare in most modern games. Now, when I look at this from the perspective of Cardano, it becomes even more interesting. Because if Slappie Run and the surrounding platform continue to grow, they could bring an audience that may never have interacted with blockchain. They could create a path where everyday gamers, instead of crypto-native users, naturally discover on-chain ownership and digital assets. That is the true potential impact here. Not just entertainment, but introduction to a world where gaming is not isolated from digital ownership, where players get more than a temporary score, and where something as playful as an arcade frog can be a doorway into the Cardano ecosystem. For individuals, the value is joy, challenge, and connection. For families, it is shared time. For Cardano, it is expansion. Recognition that blockchain gaming does not need to be complicated to matter. It only needs to feel real human and worth returning to. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. And before I go, don't forget, if you'd like to receive a very short but value-packed email from me every Tuesday, you can sign up for the Cardano Gaming newsletter. Every Monday, I'll be sharing the latest from the Cardano Gaming ecosystem to help you make better decisions. So if you don't want to miss out, just go to the link on the screen, leave me your email, and very soon I'll be in your inbox. That's all for today. I hope you have a great week.